Maybe you're live.
All right, thank you. Welcome back, everyone. It is about 10 a.m. on Wednesday, January 28th. We are continuing our conversations in and around alcohol policy. And we have just added to our website. It is under Mimi's name, alcohol bill. Just so, nope, where is it? Which one?
655.
Oh, 655. Sorry. So what's the draft number?
Oh,
Under Tucker's name.
Oh, thank you. Pre-introduction draft. All right. So I just want to make a note that that is something that is in drafting and on its way to us with a formal bill number. But when we speak to alcohol bill in air quotes today, it is going to be that pre-introduction draft. So with that, we're welcoming Commissioner Knight from the Department of Liquor and Lottery here to offer perspective on the bills that we're discussing this morning. So
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Wendy Knight, Commissioner of the Department of Liquor and Lottery. I'll first start by talking about 655, what we call the technical corrections and housekeeping bill, which truly are technical corrections, very minor requests. The first one is to ask for a 4-year term for the board members instead of a 3-year term. They are staggered, but the reason is for some continuity of board members. There's a lot of the laws and regulations of the Department of Liquor are pretty complex. We're also looking for some consistency with the term of the commissioner. The commissioner has a 4-year term, so we're requesting that be a 4-year term. Next is the Section 230. This pertains to the sale of alcohol for off premises, otherwise known as to-go cocktails. There was a provision in there that had serving hours inconsistent with the serving hours that are in statute. So it's not necessary in there because they're already established elsewhere in statute. So we're asking to delete that. The next section is 252, which is the special event permits. We made some changes on that a couple of years ago. There was an oversight when we left out that provision, those permits need to have local control. And so we're essentially inserting that language in that because those permits require local control. Yes,
locally controlling the social environment.
exactly, precisely.
So just for clarity, we're approved by local control commissioners. That's like select.
The towns, yes, the town, each town has a process for approving the liquor licenses that they have a statutory obligation to approve. So essentially, we need that language to be inserted back in here because when we change the special event permit, the intent was not to change the local control portion of that. The next section, 275, solicitor's license. The first section, we changed to have the language be gender neutral. The second section there, we changed to eliminate the requirement that the payment be sent by certified check made payable to the department or the state of Vermont. Now, you can imagine why we have to delete this.
Yes.
Because we are now in the 21st century and have an online licensing portal, and we do not require our licensees to send in mail-in checks. So we would like that to come
I
out.
really appreciate that.
Again.
I've had a lot of people chit chat about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
and this, as an aside, and I've said this repeatedly, and I will say it again, this is why we need not have specifics put in statute, because when life evolves and industry evolves and businesses evolves, we're stuck with outdated wording in statute that we need to update. It's better to just let me decide how to do it. Joking, sort of. Have a process, rulemaking, exactly, rulemaking and regulations, and that's a much more nimble, responsive way of creating guardrails, as you can see. Again, gender neutral language. I'm sure some people will come after me for that request. Then we have the sunset of the special venue serving permit. Again, this was an oversight a couple years ago. We erroneously put in a sunset for that provision. This pertains to special venue serving permits. The issue was that we were specifying, you could be a bookstore, you could be a museum, if you recall. And yes, we had a retail establishment wanting to have a special venue permit, but we couldn't allow it because the language didn't specify retail. So we took out all of the, specific types of establishments and said retail. And for some reason that got put in as a sunset. So we're asking that to be repealed because that was intended to be a permanent change.
So with that, so I'm just going into the Wayback Machine in my brain right now. There were some concerns about that, just opening up access within that style of establishment having these special event permits. Do you, off the top of your head, recall any instances where there was a issue with like over-serving or anything of that nature as a result of these permits or this permissible use at these these special event permits? Because I know some people were like, you're opening up access.
So I'm trying to understand your question. So when we testified 2 years ago, obviously the department's lens is if it helps to promote growth in the economy and make Vermont more affordable and it doesn't have a negative public safety implication, then we're supportive of it. And that was the rationale for that. I don't believe that we've gathered since then any data that shows if there's been violations at retail establishments.
Okay. I think that was I did a very meandering and
Yeah, we can certainly give you that data.
Yeah.
But there was no concern. We didn't have a concern that there would be a different, set of circumstances at a retail store, whatever that might be, selling ceramics as opposed to selling books. That didn't make any sense to have a distinction, but we can certainly give you our data on any violations or, I guess that's the term, any violations we've had at special venue permits.
I think I was just more curious if there was any striking incident that popped to mind where there was an issue. Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So any questions on anything that I've covered thus far? The one other point I will make, we probably need to figure out where to include it is the liquor liability insurance. There was a requirement for the Department of Liquor and Lottery and the Department of Financial Regulation to come back with a recommendation for that dollar threshold we're mandating that licensed establishments get liquor liability insurance. It's the opinion of the department and the Department of Financial Regulation that we basically repeal that mandate because the marketplace is not showing sufficient relief, and it's continues to be very unaffordable for the liquor licensees to either obtain liquor liability insurance or to afford it. And so the idea, and you can take further testimony on this, but I think that we need to put that in somewhere in the miscellaneous alcohol bill. If you're going to combine these.
Yeah, no, we're definitely looking at combining all the proposals.
And we can send you, basically our recommendation is that you repeal that mandate.
Okay. And when did that?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we were the deadline for DFR and DLL to come with a recommendation for what that minimum liability amount is July 1st.
This year.
Correct. I just wanted to make note of that.
As I saw Rep. Boyden making a note for us to take further testimony.
I know that you're taking testimony on some other alcohol bills. I will just state in general that we have had conversations with all of the stakeholders, all of our licensees, about what they are seeking. In general, the department supports, again, as I said, changes to legislative language that help Vermont businesses grow and get their product in front of consumers and tourists and sell their product that doesn't negatively impact public safety. We are supportive of. As you know, the governor has been championing affordability for a long time and growing the economy. And we look at ways where we can support our licensees in that endeavor as well, growing their businesses. And so we're not seeing anything you're discussing that causes us concern. Some of these things make complete sense if we're looking to support Vermont manufacturers and other businesses. And I'm happy to give more detailed testimony as you work through the details on these bills.
Okay. Yeah. They, again, like I said before, we're really just like honing in on the ones that we've worked. All right, Dan. Wow, coffee. I should have another one. That we're going to continue to work on and bundle into our miscellaneous alcohol bill.
Yeah, and I will say that what I see here are discussions that we've been having for the last 4 years. So none of what I'm seeing is new. I've had various conversations with the stakeholders over the last almost 5 years that I've been at the department. And these are same conversations. So I would urge us all to collectively work forward to make some relief for these companies.
Any questions for the commissioner?
Sorry, I missed your testimony.
We got time. You want her to start again?
No, it's okay.
You can watch the YouTube video.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, we are just cruising along this morning. Thank you, Commissioner.
And I appreciate your commitment to hear the online lottery bill at some point soon, Mr. Chair. Thanks.
Well, you will certainly get that on the roll.
Have a great day. Thanks for having me in.
Got it.
Thanks, Whitney.
And I will return your coffee cup.
And we are running ahead of schedule, so I don't know if we have the ability to start diving into 672 yet with our,
Start a little early. I'm just waiting.
That's all right. We'll hit the pause button for, I realize we're moving along briskly. So, take us offline for a 15 minute sec. And once all of our